I don't want to generalize anyone from Medina. In general, elders, none of that. Allah School of Medina never had the amount of classes that we teach here. That means that they never had the orthodox settings here and the type of structure that you need to teach a class. Many elders from Medina did not like the classroom setting to begin with. Papa Wu, while I was teaching class here, would often say, I hate the classroom setting. You know what I'm saying? And it was never a diss to me. That's really his own true, it was his understanding. You know what I mean? He felt it was constricting and put too much power on the teacher over the student. That it gave them too much dominion over the teacher. And I found that wild to me. For someone like Papa Wu, Freedom, that had so much dominance naturally with his magnetic, that people were following him just because he's Papa Wu. Let's keep it real. So it's like...
But even before he was Papa Wu, when he was just Freedom.
Right, yeah, he never not had it. Yeah, he never not had it, that's for sure. So it's like he was trying to acknowledge that. But it's sometimes something you can't get away from. You know what I'm saying? People like him, people like Dumar, they couldn't get away from their magnetic. You know what I'm saying? It was too powerful. But when you say stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And you say stuff about power in this way, and it has to be the truth and only the truth, you're not really looking at all the other degrees. Definitely not looking at the interdependence of the degrees. You know what I'm saying? And I really feel like it's a point of rigidity. You know what I'm saying? It's a point of rigidity because if we want to build the best type of student, we're building an analytical thinker. And here's where I get into a problem, right? It flies out of my whole pedagogical framework. My pedagogical framework, though, is that I don't want you to believe anything I say, and I want you to disagree with everything with proper questions. So when I give people mathematics, I say, don't give me answers or explanations. I want you to give me questions why this doesn't work out. I want you to give me reasons why this 3 shouldn't be understanding, why this makes no damn sense. All of the stuff that is bothering you about it, I want those first. And I want you to continue to focus on that. I don't want people to just really explain it well. There's too many Mecca, Allah School of Mecca videos for people not to be able to explain stuff. You know what I'm saying? So that wouldn't make the best student to me. And when you say stuff that is definitive, it becomes authoritative, and it becomes a standard that cannot be questioned. And that's just not the type of classroom that I teach. That's never the type of student that I engage with. I don't engage students with that. Because if I did, I'd have a lot more followers, and they would be right around me, and we could just walk down, and there'd be Sunyas and the Manchus, you know what I mean? Like a kung fu movie, you know? But when he says stuff like that,
Right. So you know, I want to acknowledge that, you know, the mathematics originally given was knowledge, wisdom, understanding, culture, power, equality, God.
This is why I think it's great that Medina keeps it as they were taught. You know, as they were taught. But let's be real, right? I'm over here, I learned what God's from Mecca, Medina, desert, everywhere. And there were things that each one of them did that I see. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know why they have to feel that they have to be so rigid that what they learn is not compatible and makes it where what we're sharing is totally useless now. You know what I mean? Totally useless, because that's not what comes around inside. No one will ever hear somebody say, Sunnis was saying how Medina is not right and exact and this and that. No one will ever hear that. No one ever hears that from me.
Think about it. Now, if you study the man named Allah, you study his mind, do you think that he would be going to war with people like this, going behind people? Do you think he would have a problem? See, now I've heard that, you know, a God from that time period said that he heard Allah using refinement in front of Allah, and Allah didn't correct him. See,
I've heard that too.
Right. So do you like? Where do these guys? You're talking about this is what Allah taught, this is what Allah taught, but you're not teaching what Allah taught.
Yeah. And
Or
it's
you're not
funny,
moving
all
like
we
that.
have is the sincere, what we can say is the most truthful as they can be stories that some of them we have to discard, you know what I'm saying? And I understand when if they criticize, let's say, Allah B, because they criticize Allah B, I guarantee you no one was criticizing Allah B to his face, though. You know what I'm saying? I've been in a lot of places where everybody chirped it up, but they didn't bring the disagreements to him. That's a fact. I'm just keeping it real. It's a fact. You know what I mean? I can say, and this my word is bond, that I had disagreements with Allah B in my own classroom, and we worked it out. So I don't have no qualms with that. That's why I say it's my standard. I don't hear anybody was saying anything to Allah B, but it was Allah B and another God, elder, that I said, I'm not going to do any of the stuff at the school because I'm not going to do all this. I disagree with some of the direction, you know? And it was nothing devilish. I just disagreed with the direction and the way that they were doing it. And I said, listen, leave Thursday free. The other God knows because he's still alive. Leave Thursday free. Leave me alone on that day. I didn't say it disrespectfully. I said, leave me alone on that day. I will be here every Thursday. And that's what happened. That's literally what happened. You know what I mean? But Allah B, though, he did write things that, especially Allah B doesn't get a lot of respect that he deserves for being a very dynamic writer. Dumar does, Firstborn Prince does, but not Allah B. You read Allah B's essay in, I gotta get the book. What's the name of the book? We gotta get the right name of the book. But the book about Allah and his 5%ers and
the gods that were there.
Yeah, for the gods that were there, right? Allah B has an essay. I remember him telling me that was just part one. He actually had a part two to that, that he wanted to publish in the next book or somewhere in his own books. And I was telling him, like, yo, God, just put it in your own books, because if you wait for everybody else, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because I was already publishing mine, so I was like, God, we can do this ourselves, like, you know. And he did his own. He did one of his own books, you know. And he was a very dynamic writer, but he told stories very mythological. That was the way that he told them. You know what I'm saying? So for him, the father, you know, caused thunder on this side of the street, this, all that kind of stuff. He was that kind of writer. He mythologized everything. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like everything was made into a Killer Priest lyric when he wrote. You know what I'm saying? Everything was, you know, amplified. So I understood that poetic license that he was taking. And most of the people had with La B was what he was writing, not necessarily what he was saying. You know? But sometimes those conflate. I understand that those should sometimes blend, because I accept that what I write is going to be the same as what I say. You know what I'm saying? And I as an author and writer, I expect that I expect to answer for what I've written as well as for what I've said. You know? But for all disagreements there, I don't know where the lobby hate came with that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't make sense.
There's layers and reasons.
I know the layers of other reasons.
Okay, other reasons.
Administration, choices in direction. I understand all that.
That was my man. That was my man.
Yeah,
he had this.
Yeah, you know, and choices in certain things that I disagreed with as well. But in the end, though, all of us were really here trying to get children into the school. You know what I'm saying? And I give credit where it's due. Some of the times where we had the most young children in the school, though, was when he was leading the way. That's a fact. It can't be denied. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't long lasting, but it's truth is truth. You know? But I don't really see, you know, everybody had, because somebody was saying, Alabi said it this way, and he was like, Alabi wasn't right, exact, this and that, and it's like, nobody was really saying
well, again,
that.
like, talk about, like, and I know Alabi wasn't the firstborn, right?
Right,
he wasn't the firstborn, you know, but it's almost like, you know, what I'm saying now is like your elder versus my elder.
Yeah.
And I don't, that's what I have a problem with.
But some of the peers, because these are our peers now, some of our peers, which we should be in union, it's like, even if we teach it slightly different, they're from the same tree, and they say stuff that their tree didn't teach. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what I have the biggest disagreement with is, Allah did it this way, that's the hadith. We're not a nation that was meant to be a hadith. And the Father, and I guarantee you this, I will take this to any man living, anyone. Because none of our firstborn ever showed us this. Any of the first fruit of those firstborn never showed us this that we knew, right? They never said, I never asked them and said, but why did Allah teach it that way? Because I asked that question to Prince a lot with many different things. And he never said, because he said so, because he said that's what he said. Never said that. So when people say, Allah said so, that wasn't Allah's answer. So now you're teaching it in a way that Allah didn't teach. He taught with reasoning. He taught with, here's why, this and that. He didn't say, it's correct because I said so, and you will do it that way. They were young and they were ruffians from the street. That's a father-son approach. That typical father-son approach of dominance, though, would not have endeared him. Right. They already got kicked out by their families or estranged from their families. You tell me the father was doing it that way with them? How would that work out? Right. You know what I'm saying? Most of the young children, 10, second, third, fourth, fifth, that I teach, if I learn about their family life, and the reason I do so well with them is that I'm not the way that they live at home. The approach that I teach them is not the way their parents scream at them, their grandparents scream at them, other teachers scream at them. A lot of public schools, teachers scream. They get tough. So when we look at it like that, I'm like, you're teaching it in a way that Allah didn't teach it that way. I guarantee you Allah didn't teach it that way. And I see people making hadith as opposed to using, building students to have analytical thinking and critical thinking skills, and not blending. What I say is the two things that must be blended in our nation with a young student. The intelligence and the ability to preserve what was taught, but with the daring to innovate. And there can't be any innovation if you teach it with such rote adherence to what you say was a hadith of what the Father said. You
must do your own research, as I did.
If Mecca did this.